some people, they kind of go along with kind of more of a internal misery, but then they try to get into a relationship thinking that that will get them out of their internal misery. And then when they get in a relationship, they get the ray gun out and boom, boom, boom. I would be happy except for you do this, and all the projections come flooding out in the context of a relationship, like, aha, anger, guilt needs a target. Ah, you conveniently show up to live with me, and now you are the target. So, it's a tremendous mechanism for healing, tremendous mechanism. When the temptation to find fault or to project or to become just irritated and annoyed, irked at mannerisms, at the smallest, tiniest little things, that's exactly why the world was set up, because the mind believing in the ego can get angry and all kinds of upsetting emotions in there, and this is kind of a way of kind of letting some of it out, not realizing that that's how you keep it, by projecting it and blaming something that seems to be in form. That's exactly how you keep it in your mind. You don't really release it at all. It's when you start to recognize that those irritations and annoyances are always tied into thoughts and beliefs. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts, and you consistently turn those thoughts over to the Holy Spirit and for release, that's where the healing occurs.
Yeah.
It's always that way.
Yeah. I find that whenever I do defend, I'm making what I'm defending real, And then when I don't defend, I become aware that, oh, I'm not that. So, in not defending that you're controlling, it unhinges the identity from I am a controlling ego, And
I guess just the whole, workbook, admitting my feelings, going into my feelings, feeling my feelings. It's just kind of a gradual process, would you say?
Yeah, I think you're on the right track of being in touch with the feelings, allowing yourself to feel the feelings, feeling okay with talking about your feelings, which what is so great about that is that you're not attempting to hide and protect them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to see how I'm really feeling, as if somehow that gives a position of strength, as if denying and stuffing down feelings ever is helpful. Never is helpful. There's never a helpful time when you stuff the feeling down and just put on the pretense and then think, wow, that was good, I did something good again, that's, it's not. So yeah, once you're in touch with those feelings, and I'm sure you've done that a little bit already, like when you seem to be angry and I start to feel, I react to the anger, to be able to talk about that, it's starting to bring the dynamics of everything that's going on, saying, yeah, let's put them all out on the table here. I want peace. I want us to feel joy and connection, and this, whatever seems to be going on for you, and however I'm reacting to it, that's blocking our connection. And we want to feel the love. We want to feel in love. And when you start to just put things out on the table like that, and actually talk about the feelings, instead of trying to hold on to a stance and whatever. And of course the ego is about control, so oftentimes that's the mind tricks itself into saying, if I want to remain in control, I'm not going to talk about my feelings, because some of those feelings seem to be quite vulnerable.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like, how can I maintain a position of strength if I'm talking about all these reactions and feelings I'm having?
Yes.
The ego's saying, he's going to conclude you're a wimp, and then you'll lose control of the relationship, you see, and you see how that works.
Yes, I see how that works. And so sometimes it feels the safest place for me is to withdraw, which is not, doesn't keep this dialogue happening. But I feel like here I'm getting my chops up. actually receiving his messages that are, he's trying to get through. Like, so it's more like softening, opening kind of a feeling rather than...
Really, that's what we're all going through we have many, many opportunities to either fall for the bait and perceive ourselves as being attacked, rejected, abandoned, not heard, whatever the ego reaction is, or we can just line up with the Spirit and see it as a call for love. And that is no small shift of mind, to really, when the ego has been sponsoring this attack-defense game for so long, and then suddenly now you're going to shift to opening a bit to the call for love. And it's not your brother and sister's call for love, really it's the mind's call for love. As long as you keep it in a brother-sister thing, then it can seem like it's still the other, it's still out there.
Yeah.
And the ego can still use that, the ego will do that. Oh, I had a great day, but I was getting a lot of calls for love today, and that one in the kitchen, wow, she is calling for love every day, and and I don't know, I'm trying to do my best, but that's still ego putting it out there as if it's their call for love, and it's a fancy way of calling it an attack, as disguised as a call for love. But if you actually feel that call for love and you really do just extend it, then you'll notice the softening, the change. The reflection will be right there, like, oh, thank you for listening to me, or thank you for helping me, thank you for joining with me. It will come reflected right back, when you really see it and go for it. Because it's your own mind. When your mind shifts away from the attack to the call for love, you extend the love, then you receive the love immediately, and that's how healing works. It's not so much what you perceive. What you perceive is not the big deal. It's the purpose that you want to give to what you perceive. And then the more you practice showing up with this new purpose, the purpose of the Holy Spirit, you start to draw forth the witnesses of that new purpose. And it literally transforms your mind, because the world was made in hate, and now it is transformed, to love by this new purpose that the Holy Spirit has for the world. And it just really takes practice. It doesn't matter how many years you've been on the spiritual journey, it doesn't matter how many times you've been through the Course in Miracles or the Course Workbook, or all the stuff that the world judges as important, as longevity and time. None of that really matters, but it's your willingness to practice the steps, to practice the principles. He says you need not believe, at the beginning of the workbook, you need not believe these ideas. You need not accept these ideas. You need not even welcome these ideas. Oh my God! It is their use that will show you that they are true. That's pretty powerful. You need not believe them, you need not accept them, you need not welcome them, but it is their use that will show you that they are true. That's a huge emphasis on practice, on practical application, because he's saying, the first three are acknowledging, you may resist these ideas. That's really what he's saying. He's saying may because he knows you probably will resist these ideas. Don't be disheartened if you find yourself resisting this unconditional love impulse, because the ego is extremely threatened by this impulse for unconditional love, for agape love, and so that puts it into a context like, okay, if he's really saying that, and that's right there in your introduction when you go to the workbook, then he's also saying, please don't be hard on yourself during this. There's going to be an enormous temptation to be hard on yourself as you go through this healing process, an enormous temptation. And don't give into it, in the sense that the ego wants to sabotage the whole healing process by you just throwing in the towel and going, too difficult, I'm not doing it good enough, I'll never get there. It just wants you to come up with some conclusion to shut down the willingness. Because if you stay willing, it's going to be a pretty quick journey. The ego has got no defense. It's your willingness joined with the Holy Spirit, and that ignites a huge, powerful healing. And if you conclude that I can't get this, it's too difficult, I'll never make it, and, you picked the wrong one, I'm not ready to heal, or whatever the conclusions are, those will shut off the willingness. And that's the only part that we're asked to really give, is the willingness. So if we shut that off, then it's really blocking. It's going to delay the healing. It won't stop the healing, but it will delay the healing in those cases.